Ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we are working on some cool Markdown to PDF stuff. And before the break, I was talking about delimiting chapters to match certain styling. Thanks for the follow, Moria Cat. It's great to have you here. And before I had some, when I was doing the page delimiting, I thought of doing something like something like whatever, having this similar to blade syntax. And then during the break, I realized I'd actually like to have some UTF-8 characters to delimit this stuff. And the trouble is that perhaps someone will want these characters in their text. I will probably have to make a way where you can, for each project, define syntax to match this style of stuff. So what delimits new sections, and this style of stuff. So what delimits page breaks, so that you can use whatever you want to use in order to add these characteristics to your project. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to say, for the moment, whenever I see this UTF-8 symbol, I'm going to take this as open a new container. And if there is one open, I'm going to close the one that's open. It's very simple. So you don't have to specify endings for stuff, and it still works like containing the content, which is cool. That's what I'm going to do for that, and then I'll just use this for page breaks. So let's work out how to do that. I think probably the easiest way to do this is to try and extend one of these, and then it'll moan at me for the things that I haven't implemented yet. So here I'll say, if the line starts exactly with this character, whatever it is, then do the function, don't just display the glyph. Yes, that's right. That is totally right. So, so what we could say is, what are these things called? Parser. Let's make a folder called parser. Oh, not presser, which is hilarious but incorrect. Parser. Spelling under pressure is my greatest weakness. Section, and then we'll say, okay, namespace is what did I call this again? Draft parser, lacking a better name, of course. Section extends block parser. Oh, abstract block parser. Okay, which means I need to implement some stuff. What is that stuff? Okay, parse. Now, what does this actually need to do? There aren't many examples of this block parsing stuff. I mean, there is an example right here, right? Okay, parse. When parsing a new line, the doc parser iterates through all registered block parsers and calls their parse method. Each parser must determine whether it can handle a given line. If so, it should parse the given block and return true. Provides information about the current context, encapsulates the current state of the line being parsed, and provides helpers for looking around the current position. Parse should return false if it's unable to handle. Returning true tells the engine you've successfully parsed the block at that given position. It is your responsibility to advance the cursor to the end of the syntax indicating the block start. Add the parse block to context add block. Okay. Let me give this a go. Not sure I'm going to be able to do it. Okay, so how do we get? So is there? I need some info on. I need some info on the cursor. Do I have? No, I don't. Cursor, save state, inline context, get cursor, cursor peak -1. Okay, so what is this previous char? Oh, okay. Get line. Print R debugging. Woohoo! Okay, I also need to add the section to the renderer, if I'm not mistaken, which means the renderer is what creates this combined markup. Okay, so chapter markup is where I need to add this. Converter add I'm gonna have to create all of this manually. I was using the factory, I guess you could say, the bunch of factory classes that are provided, which saves a little bit of time, but unfortunately it doesn't give me direct access to be able to add the parser that I've got. So I'll have to do something like this. And then something like this. And return that. Okay, now I have a test for this, so I'm going to run that test just to make sure that the renderer still works. Renderer.php. Totally doesn't work. Oh, renderer test. Wow, super confused. Render test. That still works. Okay, so the renderer still works, but now we should be able to add the block parser. There we go. New section. Okay, I can delete this and I can do some formatting and that'll remove the, yes, very good. Very good. Okay. So what happens now when I run some code through this? It should stop and should say, okay, I've got a line called chapter title, which is the first line of that document, which is why it's giving me that. Now in my section block, I need to say, is this parsable? And so probably what I'll say is, if not preg, I'll do preg match. Preg match. The pattern is not dynamic at the moment. This, and then any number of A to Z, dash, plus, and here we want to say this is any amount of space here, and I probably have to escape these twice because hilarious. Then this is a string method, which means this is probably haystack first. Pattern subject, no, never mind. I'm being silly. It's not. The pattern is the haystack, is the needle. I'm searching the line, and matches is what I get back. If count matches is 0, then return false. Otherwise, print out what the matches are. I'm also not capturing anything, so I need to do that. And okay, so it's found a match, and this is the title that it's matched, which is good. So what do I do in this context? What do I do once I know I have a successful match? If I just, let's just return true and see what my output is. Oh, wait, that's not going to work. Return true. Return true. I'm not adding any blocks, so it can't do any more parsing. So I think that's the problem, at least. It's probably going to do an infinite loop there. But what I need to do is I need to return new. Interesting. Interesting. So maybe I can, well, let's see, block parsing. I need to use context add block, but what do I return then? Context add block, new block, new HTML block. What are the arguments for this? Type. what was the thing in this example here? HTML element. Okay. Is that even a class? HTML element. Fine. Tag name, attributes, contents. What if I just want to return some strings, some raw markup? New HTML. Let's just say element. Why is it giving me an error? Tag name, attributes. Okay. What if I want to do just a raw piece of text though? That's the thing. That's what I want to do. I'm going to have to dive into the vendor folder to find out how this actually works. Let's see. Because of how I'm delimiting this stuff. Let's see. Block. HTML block, abstract block. That's not what I want. Thematic break. I want to render just a break. Just one piece of raw HTML. Oh, HTML element, HR, self-closing. But how do you do closing? How do you do the final one? What does the inline stuff give me? New line. Abstract inline. Do I have to do this as an inline break? As like an inline? Let me try that actually. Let me try that. Okay, so instead of a block level element, abstract inline, which means what? What do I have to extends? Abstract inline parser. Now some stub methods. Get characters method. So I'm assuming here I just have to return an array of strings like this. Maybe that's what I do there. And let's go back to the example here. So inline parsing, inline rendering actually, inline parsing, parse. Inline parsing, so when you see this character, append child, inline context get container append child. I just want to put some raw text in here. Just some really raw text. Render, that's not what I have here. Oh well, I'm kind of stuck here, to be honest. I'm kind of stuck here. Inline context, get container, get start line, insert before. I gotta figure this thing out. Let's just print the inline context get cursor get line, and then we run the tests just to see if it traps those two lines. So I do also have to change the renderer. No. Yes? Yes, I do. Renderer, get chapter contents, not that. Over here. Okay. Environment, add line parser. Add inline. Inline parser, new section. Okay. It's not a block section anymore. Okay, so it's got the 2 chapter titles, which is great because it's matching these things now. It's a little bit easier to match them. This is Atom. Thank you for asking. It's just got an interesting theme. So I'm matching the 2 lines, but how do I replace their content with something? This is the rub. It's actually no, that's fine. That's fine. So inline context, get container, insert before. How do I replace get string content? Can I set string content? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, it's not Atom. Sorry, I need to check chat more often. It's not Atom. It is PHP Storm. I have a very similar theme for both of them, though, and I get confused very easily. Please forgive me, Capulara. This is what my Atom looks like. So if I open up a PHP file, this is what my Atom looks like, and I'll even close the sidebar. And this is what my PHP Storm looks like. What is that file that I have open there? Section. So let me scroll down to just the class title. No, don't do that. Just the class title. And PHP Storm, just the class title. You notice how they look very similar, Capulara? They have the same, almost the same theme, which I share at a slightly different contrast with Terminal. No, they look very similar. I got confused. You're right. This is PHP Storm that I was working in, and I'm kind of stuck at the moment, actually. So not really sure what to do. Okay, let's print our inline context, get container, get string content. Let's see what that gives us. No, not Atom. Don't open Atom. Sigh. Chapter title. Okay, so content get string, container get strings. Get string content is it's because I've got it on a line of its own, I think. If I open up the tests, downloads, this sample manuscript, chapter 1, I think it's because I've got it on a line of its own. If I remove that line and I do content, it's going to do, I was wrong. I'm not sure why. Anyway, maybe I can just do replace with div. Must be an instance of node. Replace with new. Oh, you do that outside of that. New node. Element node, method node, Oh. Is that a node? Okay. Sure. Doesn't work though. Abstract block. Can I set sorry. I long to be able to do this. Append child must be instance of node. I'm just gonna get this here. Like that. And what options do I have here? Give me options. Give me options. Node. Enter. Oh, it's abstract. I just want to replace this with some text, you see? DOM-node is a class that's native to PHP, which is part of the XML or the DOM document class stuff. It's not part of this library, unfortunately. I just want to replace the text contents of this, but the problem is that I don't know how. And of course, container is not going to tell me what it's going to do. Block. It's not that. Node. What is the class of this? I'm going back to basics. Print R. Get class. And this would be a lot easier if I actually knew how to use Xdebug properly, but I don't. Print R expects one parameter. What? Get class. Oh. Of course I'm in collapse. Sure. Block element paragraph. Block element paragraph. Replace with Is that possible? Replace children. I'm sure I tried this before. And it didn't work. Anyway, I don't need to do that. I do need to do that though. And that actually worked. What? Foo! I mean, I don't think it's intended. No. Sorry, there's a slight bit of delay. You were right. I was supposed to take it out. That's sure. I've put some text in there. I don't think it's the text I was meaning to do, though. Let's run that and see what amazing text I have now. Yeah, look, I know the font is terrible, right? So append child. I do actually want to replace children. This detached children. And for each children. get container. What's the method I want here? What is the method I want here? Detach children. Okay, let's run this because I want to get rid of the chapter. That's not working. I want to get rid of the chapter stuff. Okay, like the UTF-8 character. No, that's not working. Also, I have weird breaks. Oh, and that's because each of my headings clear. Okay, fine. I'm getting somewhere with this, but I do need to take another break. So that's what I'm going to do right now, and I'll be back in another 2 minutes, and I'll see you in a bit.